Republicans. And what I have heard from them is they are going to vote a straight Republican ticket. That's almost everybody that I talk to. And then there are lots of amendments and stuff like that, and most people really are not that into them because they're not that interested in the judges, but people are interested in voting for the gambling, and
what's up with the gambling on the ballot? Like, what are some of the, because I think that that's not a part of the election that gets covered very often. It's like, what is the what are on the ballot for, like, the propositions, I think.
Yeah, I think the propositions there, that is, I went to vote early, so I voted for the new governor and all, mostly.
Andrew Gillum?
Yeah, the Democratic ticket,
yeah.
But the judges, I wasn't quite sure, which ones were on the Democratic side or not. So, I'm not too sure. I left a lot of it out because I wasn't familiar with the various issues. Even though we talked about it, among our friends, but it was quite confusing. And so you're much more familiar with all the issues, but, we have a little different issues down here in Florida than you have up in New York. But the Republican, they haven't changed their tune at all. All my Republican friends, they are straightly, they're happy with the Republican Party. They're happy with the market. They're happy with the jobs. They're happy with all these things. So they didn't change their mind at all. That is as solid as it was 2 years ago.
There's been a lot of interesting stuff going on in Florida. You got the mail bomber coming through 2 weeks before the election. That was pretty crazy. I think he was he near you, or was he? I think it was on the other side of the peninsula, right?
Say that again.
How close was the mail bomber to you?
The what?
The mail bomber with the Caesar Sayoc Jr., the guy who sent bombs to Democratic.
Oh yeah. I this is why you think that is related to the voting?
I mean, I don't know. Just shows you there's a lot of crazy things that happen in Florida.
Yeah, well, that is for sure. I mean, there are lots of, I don't know, must be the weather. I don't know. But, that guy, I don't know. It hasn't really come. I mean, it's in the news, but that is really not what people talk about in the voting. But yes, the gun issue is definitely something that has to be addressed, but it's certainly not going to happen under the Republican Party. That's for sure. So, but the bomber, well, I don't know that. I didn't pay that much attention to that at all. So, not much I can give you on that.
Yeah, that's.
But Florida has some real crazy people. I can tell you that.
Yeah, that is for you see some of the people running like Matt. I don't know if you heard of him, Matt Gaetz. He's one of the craziest guys out there in the House of Representatives. He's probably already won, but
really,
yeah. And another key state, a U.S. Senate seat has fallen in Indiana, just new now. Mike Braun has won in the Senate. He's defeated Joe Donnelly in what has been a pickup officially the first pickup for the Democrats. Roger Wicker won in Mississippi. Mike Espy in the Mississippi special Senate election is still hanging on there with 9% of the vote reporting, with 10% of the voting reporting, though Roger Wicker is one in there. Indiana, though, Mike Braun defeating Joe Donnelly. Joe Donnelly I really can't say I'm sad to see him go, but if the Democrats had won a better candidate there, I think it would definitely be very, very tough. That would be very interesting. Yeah, that's the big projection now. Yeah, Mike Braun. But we do have Maria here to talk more about Florida, and that is what we're going to do. So yeah, like it's been mostly you were focusing on Andrew Gillum, and that was the big cheese, as they say.
Yes. Right. That part of it, I think, is going to go over. I mean, it's gonna happen. But that's my idea. And then about the various issues, I am not so sure. So. I haven't really, I went to vote and I voted the straight Democratic ticket, but and we have early voting, and I did this already a week ago, and the polls were a piece of cake. There was no lines, and I see a lot of states now today, people were standing in line around the block, but I don't know. I didn't see it here in Florida, and I was out all afternoon, but I went by the library there, and I didn't see that many people out online. But anyway, I'm sure the people there, all done with the voting. So I don't know what the results have turned out to be. So what do you think?
The results are coming in.
What is your prediction of the Florida outcome?
Well, we definitely knew it was going to be tight right now. There's no real clear winner, even as we get so close to all the votes being counted right now. 93% of the vote counted thus far. We got Rick Scott and Bill Nelson are the two candidates. 50.4 to 49.6. That's a very close margin there. 0.8%, and it hasn't really changed right now. If you look at, let's go deeper now into some of the counties and go for the full Florida results. Pretty much all the counties have tilted in the way they should be. Ron DeSantis very barely up, just little under 100,000 votes over Andrew Gillum. So Ron DeSantis is winning, Rick Scott is winning, but the thing is,
that I would expect that he would win.
Rick Scott,
absolutely.
yeah, because he's been around, like Florida people, like they know Rick Scott pretty well because he's been the governor.
He's a well-known name,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, and it looks like there could be very much a tougher majority in the Senate, just based on the way things are filling out right now, especially if this Bill Nelson race goes the way we think it could, which is not looking very good right now. 93% of the votes counted in both spots right now. And the disturbing thing is, especially things are beginning to fill in Democratic areas. Almost all the Republican votes are in, but in... it's going to be very tough. We just don't know if there's enough votes to stick through here on this one. We don't know. It's very possible. It still very much could go either way, but it's much more comforting when you have Gillum in the lead versus DeSantis, or DeSantis is in the lead versus Gillum right now. But definitely the margins are very close. Perhaps just a little closer, though, in the Senate race, which is something that no one really expected. Everyone expected Gillum to win much more convincingly. Yeah,
that I can see that, right. Well, that's all that I can tell you about the the voting that's going on here. I mean, everybody voted early that I know of, and all the Republicans I know of, they stayed with their party. So there was no chance of. I went to a class this morning, and everybody, they did talk about it because they were voting at the community center, and I talked to people I go to exercise class with, and the ones that are Republican, they're staying with it no matter what. So there you go.
All right,
that's a sure thing.
That is definitely the theme. We got the parties definitely staking out their points. And the interesting thing is everyone is so very, very close in Florida right now, and we're going to get all to that. And all right. that would be that. That's I'll let you go, Maria, and enjoy the rest of your night. And thank you so much again for contributing to the show.
I will. I hope I wake up in the morning and it be good news, not like the last election when I was a total disappointment.
Yeah, yeah.
So hopefully we're gaining something this
time.
We
do have some projections ahead if you want to stay around for that, and that could be pretty interesting. I don't know where that's going to be, but that could be something pretty major coming up with just 24 minutes and go to the next round of poll closings. Yeah, so you can definitely stick around for that if you're good for that, because it get reaction for that if anything's coming from Florida.
You could check in with me and let me know. That'd be great. you can keep me informed. Sounds good.
All right, that'll be it. Maria, thank you so very much. All right, we're going to try and get to Glenn Bradford and Ken and Octay possibly a little bit later, and we'll have, of course, James back in 9:45. We're going to see CNN projection right now. Mike Braun and Tammy Baldwin both won their Indiana Senate races, Indiana-Wisconsin races. Mike Braun, we know he's defeated Joe Donnelly. That is official at this point in time. And, yeah, that's no surprise. Tammy Baldwin also picked up a seat that was very much something that we expected to go the way it did, and now we have that official. Tammy Baldwin has won her race. So Democrats need to pick up 3 Republican seats to win, and that seems to be very unlikely. We need, Nebraska wins in Texas, win in North Dakota, win in maybe even Nevada. So it'll be very tough and unlikely, to say the least. All right, that is your projections at this time. We're going to finish in on all of that stuff. So yeah, 23 minutes away from poll closings, and a big low just dealt to the Democrats' chances of possibly taking the Senate. So yeah, there's going to be a long hill to climb, and you're running out of races to possibly put up there. Yeah, hopefully we can check on how Glenn Bradford's doing with his famous Amos cookies. As I'm sure he talks all about them as famous cookies, and maybe we'll talk to Nick Walsh a little bit later on, so you're going to want to stay tuned for that. We get a lot more stuff to be decided. Let's just say, shall we say that? So you're going to stick in with us. Braun has won. Scott, Blackburn, and Cruz are all leading. Only Blackburn by substantial margins. Blackburn is being projected as winning by CNN. So I think we're going to pretty much, excuse me, come out and say it. Marshall Blackburn has beaten Phil Bredesen. CNN saying it. So yeah, that's how you know it's true. But anyway, we don't know. Kramer and Heitkamp, that's 60-40. No really surprise. It's supposed to be pretty much a rout. That could definitely tighten up, though. We're not sure. Mitt Romney, his race will be coming so well. Dean Hellers and Wacky Jackie, 11 p.m. will be the big California closing. So, well, that's going to be tight. Hopefully, things will be decided so we don't have to stay up till 11. But assuming it's going to be taking long, we're pretty much going to go as long as we need to. If you're wondering about how long our time will take that we're going to be spending on air. Yeah, I do want to take some time to explore some of the Florida ballot measures, though, because that's what we're going to do before we had these projections come in. Yeah, Ted Cruz and Texas Senate race is really tightening up, as I'm noticing now. All right, so this is what we got. The ballot rights are pretty much all decided. So, restore voting rights for felons, that has passed pretty big. Crime victims' rights, judges' retirement age, that's a little confusing, but that's passed. Limited property tax assessment, that's passed. A 2/3 vote for each chamber in the Florida state legislature would be required to impose taxes or fees, or to impose new taxes or fees, or increase existing taxes. 66% say yes. State and local government structure amendment, that's yes. Prohibited lobbying or abuse of office, that seems like it's a pretty no-brainer, and is passed overwhelmingly. Voter control of gambling, 71.3 to 28.7% say yes. Increase homestead exemption, 58.2 to 41.8 say yes. Ban drilling and vaping, 68.2, 31.8 in favor there. Survivor benefits and require votes on higher education fees. I think they can just pretty much attack 2 amendments together. We got again another projection coming up right up. Those are some of the other ones. And end dog racing, yes, that's a good good stuff there. That we like to see those ballot amendments passing there. I do want to take some time to talk about some more interesting ballot propositions, which is going to be like that's it also does decide a lot of policy. All right, we got a projection coming up in multiple key House races. Democrats are leading, but the Senate not looking great. All right, projections